Hello legends, it's Keen here for the Reservoir Raid video in my sloth onesie. So here we're going to start off with going over phase 1 and phase 2 and the teams. Team 1 is Piccolo, Team 2 Engits, Team 3 Osiris, Team 4 myself, Keen, and Team 5 Avicii. Now phase 1 is everything outside the highlighted circle, and phase 2 is inside the highlighted circle. So we're going to go from Team 1, phase 1. So they're going to grab processing 1 first, and then they're going to go for solar if they can. Team 2, going to start here with treatment 2, and then go work our way to processing 2. Team 3, we're going to start here on treatment 1, and then work our way to processing 3. Team 4, we're going to start at munitions, but we're going to focus processing 4, and then helipad. Also with Team 1, we're going to start here, like teleport here on dev compound, but focus processing 1 and solar, because this is phase 2. Now, because Team 5 is the central reservoir, but we want them to help out, and center is too far away from all the other buildings, we're going to split them up between, like 3 people go to Team 3 and 3 people go to Team 2 to help Osiris and Engits. They're going to just port right there on treatments. They're going to help out. And then when phase 2 comes, they're going to leave, but everybody else on these 2 teams are just going to stay. And then they're going to go for the central reservoir. Okay, so that's phase 1. Phase 2, we're going to now focus munitions, dev compound, and central. So central, Avicii is going to have his people in the center. It's not going to be enough to fill an entire rally with just 6 people. So we're gonna have maybe Keen or Engits or Piccolo or Osiris to reinforce the center after they have their dev compound, munitions, or treatments if they don't have them already. So because of that, we're maximizing our troops. We want to help each other out. So we're gonna help Avicii out with our T10. And he's gonna take the center. Now once they hold the center, now all these guys right here, they can start helping others. They can reinforce us. So we maximize our rallies. If we have 900,000 troops in a rally, they have to have a lot of players in their rally, and therefore it relieves pressure on any one of us, and really like they have to focus one to get one, whereas we're just like maximizing our troops and we have everything. So that's phase 2. We just want to the main focus is the central because it gives the most, and the munitions because it gives us damage, and if we give it to them then they're going to have a better chance of taking something from us. And then the treatments give the second most, so we want them to be third. And then dev compound we want 4th because it's closest to the central, and then the processing 1 through 4, and then the helipad and solar is the last focus. So if we have everything, that's good, but we don't necessarily need these, so just keep that in mind. So your team focus is basically where you're color coded. So Keen's team, your focus is here, and you're gonna stay in this quadrant. Engit's team, treatment, stay in this quadrant. Piccolo, dev compound, stay in this quadrant. Osiris, this quadrant, stay here. And then Avicii's team is gonna move from phase 1 to phase 2, from the treatments to the central. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go through the basics of the math behind everything real quick, and then that's pretty much it, guys. So now we're going to get into phase 1 through 3. So phase 1 is only the processing plants, the water treatments, and the helipad and the solar panel. Phase 2 is the central reservoir, munitions, and dev compound, and phase 3 is the water tanks. So phase 1, we're just trying to get through half. So half of 5280 is 2640, but we want just a little bit more than half. Plus we don't necessarily need a helipad or solar panel. They're there, but we don't necessarily need them. So we're gonna go through here just the math behind this. So if we want just a little bit more than half, which is 3,000, so we need both water treatments and only one processing plant. That's only 3 buildings to get more than half the entire game. What we really want is the processing plants and the water treatment. Helipad, the reason why is because it doesn't give us that much water, but it does give us TP cooldown lower. But since no one's gonna be moving, we don't really need that, okay? Solar panel, it takes buildings faster, but we're not gonna be moving, so it doesn't really matter to us that much. So this is what we want. We want at least 1 processing plant and 2 treatment centers for phase 1, the rest of the game. Phase 2, when that starts, we want central reservoir and munitions like we talked about, which is gonna equal 2040 a minute, which is more than half the rest of the game. The reason why we're not gonna really focus Def Compound is because it gives a horde, and the horde doesn't really do that much. Phase 3, water tanks. This is probably the least important phase, but also don't overlook how much it actually gives. It gives the most out of any of these per minute if you were to have all of them. But we want to at least take half, because if they have all of this, then they could catch up. So we want people, if they have enough troops, to send a march out to take one of these. But we only need 12, and there's 30 of us, so there shouldn't be any reason why we can't take just 12. So that's the math behind everything, guys. You can look over this if you want to. This is exactly what the plan is. Just follow the plan and we're gonna win.